Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Holistic Wellness Wednesday. It's Wednesday again. It is June 9th. My goodness. We are almost halfway through the year. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm telling you. So happy Holistic Wellness Wednesday. Beautiful, beautiful day in June. And today we are talking about your compass. Your compass. Does your compass point north? Does your compass point north? Now, I have to admit, I was totally thinking of Pirates of the Caribbean when this came into my mind. Um, Actually, it wasn't even about the movie. It was about what brought this up is a client of mine that I was speaking to recently who just has such a beautiful soul, and so inspiring, such a strong, powerful woman. And what breaks my heart with this woman and with several clients who experience the same kind of thing. This woman is so strong, so powerful, such a beautiful soul, like I said, and she doesn't see it. She doesn't see it. She doesn't see the beauty in her soul. She doesn't see the strength that she has and how powerful she is. She just doesn't see it. It's just like it's evident to the people around her. It's evident obviously to me as her coach, because I can see that in people, um, and it's evident to her coworkers, her boss, her people in her life. You know, um, it's evident to many people around her, but she herself does not see it. She just doesn't see it. It's not like part of her reality, and it breaks my heart because part part of my mission is to help people to see themselves in the most beautiful light, to see themselves for who they truly are, for who God or source, or whatever you want to call that higher power, that energy source of the universe, whatever you call that, it for you to be seen as we are seen by God. When you can see that within yourself and see the gifts and the talents that you have, and you can see them in that way, that you have an amazing gift to share with the world around you, that's when life opens up. When you can see that, when you can understand it, when you can get a sense of why you're here on this planet serving. 'Cause we're all here to serve. We all serve in one way or another. Whether or not you think of what you do, or you might think of your gifts or your talents as service, we're all serving each other by being here. We all have gifts. We all have things that the people around us are gaining value from the things that we say, from the things we do, from our way of being. So each of you, if you're listening to this, just so you know, if you don't know this already, each of you hearing this, you're here to serve in some kind of way, and you do serve. You do serve in some kind of way in your life. You wouldn't be here. So the reason I'm sharing this is it was just on my heart that I wish everyone could see themselves in that light, in that way. And part of the reason, at least for this client of mine, part of the reason that she doesn't see herself in that light is she's experienced, well, rejection, judgment from people, from various people in her life, and we all have, right? Um, and each of us has our own journey. I think I've shared about my own journey and some of the things that I've overcome, which included those very things, rejection and um, being ridiculed, being judged, those feelings that you're not accepted as who you are in the world. So being able to overcome that allows you to share your light. If you're sitting in a place in your life where you don't see your gifts, you don't see your talents, you don't think that you have anything to share with the world around you, then your light gets snuffed out and the people around you don't get to see your light. And you might think, if you're in that place, you might think that it's better off that way. But guess what? You're here for a reason. And the people around you get value from you. And they get so much more value when your light shines fully, brightly, the way it was meant and designed to shine, the way you were created to shine. So what does this have to do with a compass? Well, society often tells us what we should and should not be doing, right? But a normal, typical compass points north, right? That's what we're told. You look, find north, that will guide you, and then you'll know your way. And follow the mainstream. Follow what you're supposed to do, right? Follow the rules. We're told to follow the rules. Go to college, right? Get the job, get the house with the white picket fence. You know the story, right? Do all these things and you will be happy. But that might not be your calling. It might not be your calling. You might not be called to go and be a doctor or a lawyer. But you might be miserable being those things. And if you are miserable being those things, that's okay, because that's not your path then. If you're miserable going after a high paying job, but you're really only going after it because, well, it would bring in enough money to pay the bills, right? It's considered to be a prestigious job, a successful job. You'd be an achiever if you got this job. Like, if you only go after things in your life that will bring you success or achievement, and you're doing it for the success and achievement, that does not bring happiness. I'm pausing for a second here. It looks like the video might be buffering. So I'm not sure if I'm still with you guys. It looks like there might be some technical difficulties going on. So I'm just pausing. I'm waiting to make sure that we're good. It looks like we're good. Okay. Hopefully you heard me. so so what I was saying was, if you're going after the things that you think you should be going after in order to be successful and be seen as a successful person in your life, that might not be the path for you. If that's the only reason you're doing it, if you have a passion, like if you're a doctor because you have a passion for helping people and healing people and you want to make a difference in the world, and it brings you no other joy, like the highest joy that you've ever felt, you've felt it being the doctor and working with your patients. If that's what you feel when you think about being a doctor, then yes, be a doctor, right? If you are in law school or if you want to be a lawyer, and the reason that you want to be a lawyer is because you have a passion that drives you. You want to help people. You want to help justice be served. You want to stand for the person who's, wrongly accused and all of that. If you feel that passion and that fire in your soul to make a difference for people in the capacity of being a lawyer, then yes, be a lawyer, because that's your calling. But if you're going to go and be a lawyer or a doctor just because it pays well, you're going to have a very sad, very pressured, very tiring life. And many people choose that. Many people choose to have a life that is exhausting, just exhausting, because we're too busy following the rules and shoulding on ourselves, doing what we should, so that we can be deemed an acceptable, successful person by society, right? But you gotta follow your calling. Your compass might not point north. Your compass might not point north. It might be like Captain Jack Sparrow. If you've never seen that, what I'm talking about, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. Totally love that movie. And if you don't, that's fine. It's just an example. But if you know the story, Captain Jack Sparrow has a special compass, and the compass doesn't point north. It doesn't point north. And he meets prim and proper Elizabeth Swan, who I love, by the way. But he meets her, and she's all like, "What?" Actually, she's not the one. I'm sorry. It's Orlando Bloom. That he meets Jack. Will Turner. Will Turner is the character in the story. He kind of grew up around Elizabeth, so he has that adventure spirit in him, but he also has like the prim and proper like mentality about him of like, this is how you do things. You do things in a certain kind of way. It's all very structured, very planned, very like, this is how you do it. And he's like, this is a crazy captain. He's sailing with a compass that doesn't even work. It doesn't point north. But as Captain Jack's first mate says, we're not trying to find north, are we? And they're not. They were after a totally different goal. And so they were following that with everything that they had. They didn't care where north was, or south, or east, or west. They had their eyes set on what was calling to them. They were set on their calling. And they had a crazy grand adventure going through that calling. And, it's a pirate story, right? So they definitely had their share of adventure. But the point is, if your compass doesn't point north, that's okay. You get to follow your calling, whatever that is, because that's going to bring you joy and freedom and bliss and peace and abundance. And no, I'm not suggesting that you go and be a pirate and steal, right? And pillage and plunder and all of that. I'm not suggesting that. And if you're watching me, if you're someone who follows me, then I would trust that you're not that kind of person that would go and steal from other people, right? We are rooted in love and truth and acceptance, empowerment, and faith. Like, those are our values here with holistic healing coaching, and that's what I stand for. But part of that is going against the grain sometimes. Part of experiencing that is, this is where the faith comes in. This is the faith. When you have enough faith to follow your purpose, your soul aligned purpose that you came here on this planet to fulfill. You came here in this life to serve. When you follow that, you might not be trying to find north. You might not be getting the perfect job with the perfect house and the perfect everything that society says will make you perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about being you and being authentic, because that's how you're going to serve. You're not going to serve the world by being perfect, because no one on this planet is perfect. Not a single, there's no one. No one, no human has ever been alive except for Jesus who is perfect. Nobody. No, but we're not designed to be perfect. We're designed to be human. That's why we're humans. So part of the human journey and the human experience is we get to have our own path. We get to have adventures that we uniquely follow with our gifts so we can serve each other. Diversity. That's what makes us amazing. That's what makes life interesting, is the imperfections. The imperfections is what make life actually joyful. Joyful and full of fun and freedom and adventure and abundance and peace and happiness and being able to serve. So where does your compass point? Where does your true compass point? If you go inside your heart, where is your compass pointing? If you don't know the answer to that, if you're not sure where your compass is pointing, I have a little meditation for you. If you haven't yet been to my website, holistichealingcoaching.com, go ahead, go there. There's a free download there for you, and you'll get to hear that and experience that. And going deep within, going into the heart space, is where you can find where your compass is pointing. It might not be north. It might be north. It might be somewhere else. But when you follow it, you're gonna find so much joy and peace. It's about trust. It's about trusting your journey and your experience so that you can live out your purpose. So don't worry about whether your compass points north or somewhere else. The point is, follow your guidance. Trust everything. Trust it. Trust it. This is what happened with my client that I was talking about earlier at the beginning of this live. Is she had this really powerful intuitive experience. And she ended up trusting it because she got validation from a total stranger that she didn't know. This is how she knew that her guidance was like real and actually speaking to her. Because what she received as guidance didn't make sense to her. She was like, I have no idea what this means. Like, it just didn't make sense. It didn't seem right. But she trusted it. She made the decision to trust it. And when she shared that guidance with the stranger she didn't even know, it was dead on. It was dead on. Totally, completely accurate. And then she was like, oh, okay. She started to then realize that she does have intuition. She does receive guidance. We all do. We just don't usually trust it. Gotta trust it. Make the decision. It's just a decision. Make the decision to trust where your guidance is leading you. Even if it's leading you to the end of the world and back on this grand, crazy adventure, if you trust it and you go through to the other side, you're going to find your purpose and you're going to be so blissfully happy. You'll experience things that you never thought were possible for you in your life. And that's a promise. It's a promise. And I'm not the one promising, that God promised us. Trust, 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 and you will receive. You gotta trust. All right, so today, figure out where your compass is pointing. Go within, do some heart breathing. You can download my meditation if you want some guidance on that, or you could, if you want to jump on the phone with me, I'm happy to help you personally, one-on-one, and just go through that process. Totally complimentary. But you go in, do your heart breathing, and let the energy flow from there. All right. Have an amazing, amazing Holistic Wellness Wednesday today. and follow wherever your compass is leading you. Just trust it. Trust it, and you'll get to your outcome. All right. Love you guys so much. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.